step back for a second. Ronnie, is some needs that are being unmet? Why don't we identify what some of those are?
I feel like, again, that Dave isn't connecting with me on an intimacy level. I feel like he's not connecting with me on a relationship, on a true friendship level. And I feel like he's completely disengaged from parenting. And what he wants is to come home, treat the house like a frat house, eat when he wants to eat, hang out with his friends when he wants to hang out with his friends, hang out with his boys, and, act like it's Animal House. And it's just not that. Whereas I'm the one who has to provide the discipline, the structure, do the homework, get everything done, make sure the house is still functioning when he wants to come and parlay. And I just don't have time for that.
So, Ronnie, what is your emotional fear with that?
That I am going to get to the point where I'm either going to deal with it like my mom dealt with it, or I'm just going to get the boys and we're going to go because it's already like I'm raising them like a single mother anyway.
Okay, Dave, what are your needs that are unmet right now? What are your emotional needs that you're not having met? We know where Ronnie is.
I feel like I'm not getting the support that I need to be a successful breadwinner at the house. I feel like if I get that she's at home and with the kids all day, I get that that's a lot of work, but my stuff's a lot of work too. And I just feel like she's not cutting me some slack that I need in order to maintain stability outside the home.
Okay. And what is your emotional fear with the way things are?
My emotional fear is that we're going to be one of those couples that just goes through the motions and just puts up with each other.
That's where we are now. That's precisely where we are now.
No, we're not.
So are you
know
happy
that.
with the status quo?
Maybe not happy, but I just feel like this is just something we got to figure out.
Mm.
Ronnie,
I feel like now all of a sudden you're one foot out the door.
Well, because I'm tired of having the same conversation. I'm tired of it. I
you know,
need
I,
more from you.
it sounds like Ronnie, you're getting worn out, and you're getting worn out from not having a spouse that is present at home. Dave, can you
Absolutely.
see where Ronnie's fears come from? Can you understand why she feels this way?
No. I get that she's annoyed that I'm not there, but I don't understand why she thinks we're going our separate ways or why she thinks we're already one foot out the door.
I don't necessarily mean the separate ways. Can you see why she feels that when you're home, you're not home?
Would she rather me just stay at work later?
No, but what I'd rather you do is to learn to delegate. I don't think that all of these tasks have to be taken care of by you in that moment. I'm not saying turn your phone off once the garage door opens, but what I am saying is give me 20 minutes, have dinner with me and the boys without checking your phone. Let it go to voicemail and get up after we've had dinner, after you've had a time to help me clean off the table, and then answer it. Help me get the boys prepped for bed. Tuck them in once or twice a week so it's not just me, so I can have some downtime, so I can shower by myself without toys in there, action figures, Legos. Let me have
That
some downtime
happens.
all the time. They
But
shower,
why are there toys in
they
the shower
bring all
anyway?
their little stuff because they boys play with things in the shower. I'd rather them play with Legos than with other things.
Ronnie, it sounds like you are getting emotionally burned out and that you're getting to a point that you're having a hard time coping with everything that's going on. Do you though
Absolutely.
see Dave, can you validate Dave's fears that he's having right now?
Yeah. I mean, because we're in the throes of it. I feel like if at this point we've made the effort to come to counseling and to address our issues, and if you're going to give me the validation and say, yes, I understand that I do these things and I'll do better, and then you go home and don't, what is there for me to continue to try for? What reason do I have to continue to try if you are not going to actively try?
Dave, can you see her point of view on that?
6, 7 o'clock at night. And I can't all of a sudden just shut my phone off and expect these people to continue coming back for service and for sales, for product, because I've been able to provide that for so many years now. So it is going to take some time for me to get to that point that you want me to be at.
I
Okay, so
understand, but you have to show me the effort. I'm not getting any effort. Do that email, it took that person minutes to type that email and 0.2 seconds for it to get to your inbox. It doesn't need to be answered right then, right there. You can help me load the dishwasher and then answer it.
okay, Dave. So what can you give Ronnie that you can promise her you will work on? What is there that you can do to help her start feeling like you guys can emotionally connect again?
I will send an email out to my people, to my clients, saying that at 5 o'clock, I will not be checking my phone again until later in the evening. So any pressing emails will need to go through somebody else, or it needs to wait until 9 o'clock when I can check my phone again after the boys are put in bed. At least in the shower, maybe not in bed.
I appreciate that.
Maybe it's
I
after
would
the dinner.
appreciate that. And I can concede to the shower versus, when they're in bed, because they don't go to bed until 8, 8:30, 9 if I'm yelling. So, I mean, I'm okay with that. Just give me some time to be able to reconnect with you after being home alone all day. The only interaction I get with another adult is if I go to Target. And you don't like for me to go to Target because I spend
Well,
too
because you
much.
spend like $150 every time.
Every time. And if I have to go to Target 3 times a week, then so be it. That's the cost of being the boss in the house.
Why don't you spend everything the first trip?
Because sometimes you
Well,
forget.
it sounds like emotionally, Dave, you have the fear of loss. You have the fear of Ronnie leaving. Where Ronnie, you have the fear of failing as your marriage because you're going to have to walk away if things don't change. So, where can we go to make sure, I know that Ronnie, you said that your mom isn't really into your life very much. So, she failed you in your relationship.
Absolutely.
So, Dave, can you see why she has that fear of not being successful?
Yeah, I guess. Because I can see it, that if that's what she's used to, the way she was brought up, that that is something that's real for her.
And vice versa. Dave, your parents aren't in your life very much, a little here and there. So you have the fear of that loss, the loss of you've already lost your parents being in your life all the time.
Hmm.
And so, Ronnie, can you see how he, in his job, even, he doesn't want to lose those employees, but he doesn't want to lose you either?
Absolutely. I can make that association. And I know that his job provides us with comforts that most people would never experience. Not everyone is able to stay at home. Not everyone is able to be hands on with their kids at school or, in their extracurricular activities. And I can. But I don't want to settle for the comforts of being upper middle class and be devoid of any emotion inside. And I feel like without being able to address it, that's where we're going to be. I'm going to end up being a Stepford wife who is just going through the motions and doing what I'm told, and that's not a way to live.
Dave, do you hear what she's saying and how, in a way, she's scared for where your relationship's going? And she validates that you do work hard, but that's not all it's about for her. She's okay not having all those things if she has to have you instead.
I understand that. I get it. No, and that's what we didn't have everything when we got married in the first place. So this is all things that we have built together. Whether or not I'm the only one going to work, that's not how this is. Um, so I can see that. I guess we could go back to the way it was. If we needed to. I mean, I don't want to, but we could.
I mean, no one wants to. I'm not
No
any
one
more target
wants to. Right, exactly. So there are things that we need to. I need to forget. I need to come in a little bit, and I need you to give a little bit, and we
and
need to
I'm
figure
willing
this
to
out
do that.
because neither
I'm
of us
willing
want
to.
to stop the target run.
Right, and I'm willing to give you that. And I know the boys don't want to miss out on baseball and soccer and football and Cub Scouts. I know that they don't want to miss out on those things, and that your work enables us to do that, but they also need you and not just the financial support that you provide.
You guys need to remember that the way you show up emotionally to each other is what's going to grow your guys' relationship together. So if emotionally you guys aren't meeting each other's needs, you're going to grow farther apart rather than growing closer together. And I think right now, those emotional needs are what's getting put on the back burner.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah, me too.
So now that we know what our emotional needs are, in the future, what can we do to help settle each other's down? So, Ronnie, what can you do for Dave to help settle his fear of loss? And Dave, vice versa, what can you do to help Ronnie feel like you're emotionally supporting her?
Well, I think that he just made a huge compromise by letting everyone know that there will be a lapse, a slower response time to emails after a certain point in time, to calls and emails. That means to me that he can understand that I do need help. I do need him to be able to, pull his weight outside of finances in the house. I do need him as a partner, as my husband. I do need to be able to reconnect with him at the end of the day. I know that it's not always the very end of the day for him, but at the end of my day, when the kids are down or when there is, a cessation in the number of things that we have going on throughout the day, I just need that time to be able to connect with him. And I can appreciate him doing that. That means a lot to me.
Really quick before you tell yours, Dave, Ronnie, you said that he was willing to compromise in giving you this part for what you need for your emotional needs. What is
Hmm.
there anything you're willing to compromise to help support his emotional needs?
I cannot ride him so hard every time he picks up his phone. I don't have to, you know, don't pick up that phone, or it can wait. I can dial down, my sensitivity towards him having to work sometimes after hours.
Dave, so what are your, back to the question about in the future?
Well, I think I can really. I don't want to lose this.